Hi everyone and welcome back to Art with Miss Choate. Today for Sunday in the Studio, we're going to revisit last Sunday's idea, which was art journaling. That's something I've been really into, and so I gave a really brief overview on just how to add color to your page and then adding words on top. But today I would like to take that a step further and add in collage. So right now I want you to go grab some things that you've been keeping. Maybe again they're in the recycling bin. And I want them to be things that are important to you, not necessarily just random. But do you drink tea? Then maybe the remnants of a tea bag could be really cool. You might need to rinse them out, let them dry, and then be able to use that paper from the tea bag. Or maybe there's some other miscellaneous things, like maybe some little bits of paper, or even some of the last things you did before we were in shelter in place. So maybe there's a movie ticket, maybe there's a receipt from somewhere, maybe that place matters to you. So we're gonna use some of those things that matter to us, and then we're gonna turn that into art, but we're gonna keep it journaling. So let's get started. So here we have last week's page, a couple other little sketches. Here's my next blank page for my art journal. All right, so I've gone ahead and gathered some things, some tea bags, a part of a box, and I'm thinking about caffeine and how I rely on it. So this page might be my little journaling about my, I would say maybe caffeine addiction. So just like we did with collaging, you can carefully or not so carefully, depending on your style, cut out some of your images. You could grab whatever you want. It could be from the house, it could be from a magazine, it could be nature. But I want you to have a strong idea for the page. So before you get started, or maybe you let what you find influence your theme. I kind of also like the silhouette of the spoon, so I'm not going to get rid of that. It may or may not play a part in the final piece. And I haven't drank this yet, I'm going to drink it later. Don't worry, no tea bags were hurt in the filming of this. I'm going to set my little tea bag aside. But I liked this Simply Balanced. Also, I love the smell of this peach tea. Oh, it smells so good. I do like that Simply Balanced logo. And I might leave a little halo of blue around it, because I'm thinking every little step I do, I'm thinking about what my end product is going to look like. And obviously yours is going to turn out differently than mine. Oh, I just realized the backside is kind of that silver. That's cool. So maybe this could be thinking about waking up. It's kind of like I could put a landscape here, the rays coming off. Maybe this is on the landscape. I also want to incorporate the old tape. This has been like what I've been surviving off of lately, this painter's tape. And I don't like to waste it, so when I'm done using it, I reuse it. So it could be a design element, thinking of it exploding off the page. And we're playing, we're trying to be calm while we're doing this. We're getting our thoughts out, we're getting our expression out. This is journaling when you can't always find all the words, or sometimes you need the words to be given to you, like this Simply Balanced. I'm thinking about how maybe caffeine helps to balance me out. And since this is painter's tape, I can easily move it if I don't like it over here. Remember, think about the design elements. Think about being balanced. Think about what happens if it's not balanced. Is your life balanced right now, or is it not? If it's not, then maybe we don't want to create a balanced piece. So think about where the weight is, meaning we could put everything over here, the weight's over here. If I spread this out, well, it's spreading out the weight, and it's bringing our eye down, bringing a line down. You could also play with things coming off the page. Nothing says that they have to stay completely on. What happens if it breaks the plane? Meaning it comes off like that. It's interesting. It may not stay that way. Now let's think about where kind of like this as my little horizon, my little earth could be there. And I like that ragged, ripped. So I think I'm gonna fold this one again and get another one. A little trick, instead of cutting, if you fold back and forth, and then you take it to the straight edge of a table and you pull, but I don't actually want it to be that smooth. I want it to have a little bit more texture, like mountains. Maybe I do it this way. I like that better. I'm not a fan of this area over here. And I want it a little bit more jagged. And this is where you're playing. Don't just let the first thing you realize be the final thing. That's why I'm not even taping or gluing anything down really yet, because I'm not sure what I want it to be. This is just playing out one idea. Now this is great because I could write my words on here. So before I attach it, I could write my words. I'm not even sure I like this anymore. I almost feel like it's not needed. Maybe I could have this hanging. Maybe there could be a few of them. Well, I'm going to start right here, and I think I might add some things onto this. So maybe I paint it. Maybe I write words. Maybe I paint and write words. I liked the idea of painting it, but maybe not being too careful. Mixing my colors directly on the paper. Remember, things that are closer to you are brighter, things that are further or darker. So like this mountain, now that it's darker, should probably be slightly further away. Which means I should also add more darkness there. Because just because this is a journal page doesn't mean it can't have some kind of realistic areas brought into it. But I'm really liking how the paint looks on this torn paper. Maybe I even continue with more torn paper down here, but I am out of that white. So this is where, like I said, you might need to sit on it for a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue these things down, and that's where I'm gonna take a break for today. So I think sometimes my students and people I know, they wanna rush through, they wanna finish right away, and they think that, oh, taking a break is either like lazy or cheating or, well, I can keep going. But sometimes that break is what helps you have a brilliant idea. And if you just push through, you may not have that idea, and then you used up all your space and you can't necessarily change it. Now, I'm not saying you can't always change it like this. I could peel these back off. But, and maybe that would be a good thing or a bad thing. Not quite sure. But I think it's always a good thing to stop, step back. And I'm saying step back on purpose. Literally, step back from your paper and look at it. Study your own work. Talk to yourself about it. Why did you make these choices? If you feel weird talking to yourself about it, talk to a friend or somebody. It doesn't even have to be somebody who's with you if you're not comfortable with that. Because I know sometimes these art journalings can be personal. So talk to somebody who can maybe relate or whatever the case may be, and show them and see maybe where were your thoughts going with this? How could you keep having them go further? Maybe now that I see it, I kind of want some of these blue lines going further. See, and that was just from a simple little, I'm talking to you guys about stepping back. I did the same thing. So now I know one little thing I wanted added. And I wouldn't have done that if I would have just kept going with the green. Now these are kind of reminding me of clouds or how the air kind of moves, so I don't have to keep all the same direction. And sometimes I let my supplies limit me. I'm almost out of this blue tape, or at least what's by me. So when I'm out, I'm out. So I have 3 tiny little pieces left. Let's make the best out of them. Be thoughtful with your movements and your placements. And maybe I decide now this isn't practical because when I go to close my book, it'll get ruined. So I'll cut that off. I actually have one more, which is nice because it's a longer piece. And I'm quite enjoying this. I can add more, or this is maybe what I go and I write. But I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna think about it. So I hope you had fun today journaling with me, taking it a little step further than last week. Maybe you didn't watch last week's video, so you're able to watch both at once, and you're able to take this idea and continue this throughout the rest of quarantine, or maybe hopefully continue it past quarantine. So I hope you had a wonderful day, and as always, if you liked it, please hit that like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to hear from me, what you'd like to see me do in the future.